Hi guys, I just want to go over the basic modeling tools in Blender. Understanding the modeling tools, it's really the first step in making your own models. And these are the most useful tools that you'll find, at least to get started. So the 7 tools that I wanted to talk about are the Extrude, the Inset, Bevel, Loop Cut, Knife Cut, Spin, Slide, and Rip tools. So let's jump into the Extrude tool here. If we select this cube and click Tab to get into edit mode, again, you can also go over to this drop down here and click edit mode. I'm going to make sure that I'm in my face selection mode, which is this button here. On your screen, you're going to have all of these editing tools on your left. And you'll have this tool here, which is Extrude Region. If you click on that, then click on a face, extruding is as easy as pulling this yellow handle, and now your object's extruded. There are a couple variations to this tool that are helpful to know. Typically, when you extrude, your object automatically extrudes along what's called the normal. And a normal is basically whichever direction an object's face is pointing towards. So you can see that this face is pointing in the X direction, and so when I pull on the handle, it's extruding on the X position. Now if I click and hold on this tool and go over to extrude along normals, then I'm going to select another edge, so this edge here. Now the problem here is which direction is the normal. Basically what Blender does is it averages the direction of this normal and this normal, and if I were to pull on this tab here, you can see that it's extruding in the average of these two face directions. Alternatively, you can click and hold that button again and go to extrude individual, and then even though two faces are selected, they're both being extruded along their individual normals. And that's the extrude tool. Next is the inset tool. So if I click on this object and go back to edit mode and click on the face tool, the inset tool is this button right under the extrude tool. If I click that and click and drag on the circle, you can see that it basically shrinks the face that we selected and adds these faces all around it. Okay, the next tool is the bevel, and as the name might suggest on this one, beveling something basically rounds it out. And so if I were to click on the edge selection tool and click on an edge, click and drag, whoops, I'm on the extrude tool. So if I click on this edge and go over to the bevel tool over here and click and drag on my handle, you can see that the edge is flattened out. It hasn't rounded out. But what you have in this bevel dialog box is you have the ability to edit your bevel. So if I were to come over to the segments tab and increase the segments, you can see now that it has more segments, it's rounded out. You can also change the width of your bevel, and you have a lot of different options. But the bevel tool is very, very useful in a lot of different ways, but that's probably the most common way to use it, is just to round out edges. Okay, so the next tool is the loop cut tool. So the loop cut allows you to add extra edges all the way around your object. So think of it as almost like a knife. So you can see that when you hover over a certain edge, it will preview the cut that it's about to make. So if I click there, it's a good time to clarify that it's not separating the mesh, but it's just adding more geometry to your mesh. So before, if I were to manipulate this top area, it would just change the height of the overall cube, but now I'm adding an extra layer of dimension to my cube. The knife cut is similar, except you have a little bit more customized control. So if I were to go over to the knife tool here, you can see you can click any edge you want to cut and then click enter to verify the cuts, and then you can obviously use whatever tool you want from there to extrude or bevel or inset. So it just allows you to customize whichever cut that you want to create. Okay, the next tool is something a lot of people don't really talk about, but it's really useful. It's called the spin tool. So if I go into edit mode and then click on a face, and the spin tool basically allows you to extrude and bend at the same time. So to demonstrate, let's just hide these real quick. Okay, so if I use the spin tool right here, I pull this handle, you can see that it, like I said, it extrudes and bends at the same time. Now in order to use this, there are a couple of steps you need to follow. The first step is you need to define where the pivot point of your face is going to be. And you do that by using the 3D cursor over here. So if I click the 3D cursor, and I just click, I don't know, a random place where I want that pivot point to be. Then I can click a face, go to the spin tool, and then choose the axis I want to spin along. I want to spin along the y-axis, so I'll keep it there. And then you can just pull that, and then it will spin that face along whichever axis you identified. So if I were to choose the z-axis, it's probably going to look kind of crazy, because that's a really awkward pivot angle for the z-axis. And the same for the x-axis. And so understanding where you want your pivot points, very, very important to use this tool. But once you get that, it's pretty simple and very useful to use. So you have the spin tool there. Okay, and then the sixth tool I wanted to talk about is the slide tool. And the slide tool is very useful when you're trying to organize your geometry so that you're prepared to add detail in the future. And so if I click on the vertex selection tool, actually let's click on the edge selection tool, and then we'll go over to the edge slide. So if we choose an edge, it basically allows you to move an edge while still keeping the general shape of your object. And so you can also switch that over to the vertex slide tool. I'll go to vertex selection. And it does the same thing. It just slides your vertice along the path that's already been established. Okay, and then the last tool I wanted to talk about is the rip tool. And so the rip tool, again, as the name might suggest, allows you to disconnect vertices from other vertices. So if I were to select this vertex here and then click and drag on the circle, you can see that it's created two vertices and they've separated from each other. With some of these tools, you might not completely understand how they're meant to be used or how you'll use them in the future. With some of them, I'm sure you understand immediately how you might be able to use the tools. But the ones where you're struggling to find context for, just keep those in the back of your mind, because I'm sure they will become really useful down the road. You just need to warm yourself up to them and understand how they can be used. Thanks guys for tuning into this video. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section below. And yeah, excited to see what you come up with. Thanks guys.